myself. Welcome back to Lure Fishing TV, ladies and gents. Today is another day for a tutorial. I haven't done tutorials in some time, but when I did them in the past, they were received really well. So I thought I'd jump back onto them and start doing them again. Today, everything is about the Texas rig. We are going to tie a nice and simple Texas rig. I'm going to explain a little bit what we need it for, what we need for it, what we should avoid when we do it, and yeah, let's jump right into it. Easy first start. Let's say this is my, I'm just going to take the fluorocarbon and put it there. This is my rod side, my mainline side. This is my open side of my leader. As you can see, I already have a little stopper on there. I hope you can see it actually. Yep, there we go. A little rubber stopper. One of these kinds, we all know them. Float stoppers, however you want to call them. Very, very versatile. This little stopper before the weight will, has two uses, which I'm actually going to explain later. What are we going to use after? There's only really two more things that we need. There's a bullet weight, ideally a tungsten bullet weight with a nice inline tubing to not damage any of your, any of your leader if you're fishing fine leaders. Then we're gonna go boop in there. So now we have the bullet weight, then we have the bullet weight and the, well, first the stopper, then the bullet weight. What I'm gonna do after is another one of the stoppers. Boop. Now you've got your weight nice and secure in there and you can tie on your hook. So just to have it in there, we've got stopper, bullet, stopper. That's how we start off. Now over to the hook. A Texas rig is made to crawl or drag or very lightly jump soft lures over the bottom. It's very often used with crawls like a crazy flapper or like an OSP Do Life crawl, but really everything else works. Paddle tails like the Swing Impact Fat or the Swing Impact or the Kitech Easy Shiner or a Shad Impact, a pintail. Anything that develops a bit of movement on its own due to its softness or the softness of the lure is usable and effective for a Texas rig. We now want to add a hook to this. I would always usually go for a Texas hook, one of those little offset hooks with a little bends. Yeah, I would 99.999% go for one of these hooks because you're fishing close to the bottom, but you can absolutely use straight hooks as well for a Texas rig. That's absolutely no problem. If you're fishing completely sand bottom, gravel bottom, and you're never concerned about having any snags or anything, please feel free to just use a straight one as well. Okay, but now, just because I use it way more, I am going to tie on. Oops, something is rolling, there we go. Just with a 5-turn. There we go. There we go. Use whichever knot you want to use to connect your hook, and you have your Texas rig. Now your Texas rig is ready. All you need on there is a lure. But this is a pegged Texas rig. A pegged Texas rig is not really something we use a lot in the UK here. A pegged Texas rig is to punch through really hefty vegetation and usually gets used for really heavy fishing in the States. I don't think a lot of people punch for perch in the UK because you'll always have some sort of debris on your hook when you punch through there, and the perch really don't like that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and if you punch for perch, let me know and I will stand corrected. Anyway, here we go. I have now moved the top stopper and we have now a free running Texas rig. And now it really shows what advantages the Texas rig has over a jig head, over cheb head, over anything that is directly, where the weight's directly connected to the hook. We have, when you jig the Texas rig up into the water a little bit and then you give it some slack line, you will have the weight fall and you'll have a nice and natural fall of your lure afterwards. That's why we need soft lures such as Kitech, OSP or anything else, because they will still work even though they were not getting pulled by a weight. They're just in a free fall, but their paddle tail, their pin tail, their claws will still do something to look natural. I've just hooked myself. There we go. Okay, the Gerzer hooks are sharp. Anyway, that is the very first reason why finesse rigs work so well, and in this case the Texas. The other very important advantage is when the fish picks up, sorry, I hope you can see this a bit down here. When the fish picks up your bait while you're crawling it over the bottom, the fish just does that and the weight stays there. So the fish has no resistance. It's a really nice natural feel. It just inhales the few grams that soft lure weighs. First of all, it won't get spooked as quickly and immediately try to spit it out. Second of all, it'll be able to get it a little bit further in. You won't deep hook any fish on the Texas rig, but you will have a little bit more time. Even a fraction of a second is sometimes useful, we all know it, to set that hook. So guys, this is so useful. If you don't want to have that first stopper, it's absolutely fine, because you know you're not going to peg your Texas rig anyway. I really like to use it, or to put it on there, because when I travel I do this, and then it is a bit more condensed and your weight doesn't go up and down the line and maybe bangs on at your top ring, or bangs onto your blank of your expensive Japanese rod or whatever else you're fishing. We don't want really tungsten. It's a very dense material. Tungsten and carbon smashing against each other is not really something we want. So I do usually have a stopper on top of the weight as well, even though I never peg my Texas rig. So there we go. This is my Texas rig. By the way, a lot of people will ask now, where the hell is the glass pearl or the glass bead? Well, I've got one here because I thought I'll show it to you, but I never use a glass bead. That is really just a personal thing. I fish finesse because I want to be finesse. If I want to have rattling and sound and stuff like that, I'll fish different rigs. But obviously, fish glass pearls if you want to. There's many people out there who do fish beads, sorry, I would say pearls, glass beads, and they catch very well. So that is more like a personal kind of thing. All the other bits, I think most people do the same. Texas rig, for me, stopper, tungsten bullet weight, stopper, just to save the knot a little bit from the weights banging on it, and then a Texas hook, hence the name Texas rig, and Bob is your uncle. Guys, this is probably the most versatile finesse rig out there, an absolute winner, and probably my favorite. Tight lines, guys, out there, the perch are getting really fat now, so if you've managed to or if you can manage to get a few sessions in now that the rivers are hopefully dropped a little bit, do it, because your PB is waiting out there. Let me know how you like this tutorial. If you want me to show you any other rigs, I will do the free rig next, I think. And if you have any comments, pop them down below, and I'll see you next time.